yeah, it just really fetches a great value, and it's something that has to be experienced. I would say ultimately, it's a feeling, and it's a vibrance, it's a passion, and not only that, but you can see that knock-on effect with the teachers within the department as well. And when the kids are coming down and they're so excited, I think many subject areas, sometimes struggle. One of the hardest things we have in education is to engage and motivate our students, but Teen Tech brings it to life in the classroom, so motivation and engagement really isn't a problem. If anything, it's actually, once it's off, it's maintaining the floodgates, because you get so many children wanting to be involved. It's really exciting. Technology in the real world, I think it's allowed them to set their sights, set their aspirations, set their visions beyond that of a classroom, really out there into the world. And actually, when they start to see the different things out there, and actually when they start researching these technologies and start linking that to human need as well, and not only human but environmental need, and these students start to understand that actually, they can create things that might make other people's lives or groups of humans on Earth, a better place. Products that bring extra benefits to people's lives, or products which just have a greater sympathy for the environment that we live in, and new products coming up with new innovations and new ideas. It really excites them. It gets them motivated. It makes them hungry. It makes them really hungry for more. Hungry for more. For technology specific, I would say always time and resources. I don't want to say time and money, because I think everyone's a bit, everyone could do with more on that. But definitely with technology, technology has changed so rapidly. 3D printers, high pressure water jet technology, laser cutters. These all come at quite an expense, but our students must experience this technology in the classroom. They must experience it so they understand the industry that they might be walking out into, because we've got a lot of jobs coming up in the UK environment now. Science and technology industries, the computer science industry as well, and I think it's really important that the students understand actually how these skills can be utilised and actually what these jobs are about, and to talk about it or to show them a video. We're the multimedia generation that we're looking at now, very IT savvy. They need to experience it firsthand, and I feel it's really important that things like Teen Tech, where it gives that engagement, it brings an extra profile to the technology department, an extra profile which is beneficial for the school, its governing body. It's beneficial for the community that the school serves, and then that can also attract extra investment. It can get you community links, it can get you industrial links, and it can really perpetuate what you do. I do. I feel we're frontline. We have our student. I'm a Year 12 tutor myself, so very much every day I'm engaged in chats about students' futures, where they want to go to university. But I feel we can provide very good careers advice in school. I do feel where it may fall down a little is the rapidly evolving ICT and technology manufacturing environment places. It rapidly changes in a 5 to 10 year period, and a careers advisor in school might be able to advise us on the medical professions and the teaching professions, and we can advise on the humanities and everything like that. But technology, it's ever changing. Even us as a technology department, we struggle to keep up with all the events and the changes and the developments and the evolutions that are happening out there. And then so when our students come up to us and say, oh, so I've got these skills, and what job could I do? Mostly we'll point them in the areas of graphic design, product designer, engineer, electrical engineer, fashion engineer, architecture. But actually, these are quite traditional job terms now. There's a massive array of technological jobs out there, mass industry production jobs and ICT jobs, computer programming jobs, that all have very different names in very different sectors, and all slightly differentiate from each other. And that's ever evolving, and we have limited access to that type of information. Speaking from experience, networking with local industry is a wonderful thing to do. Getting the kids outside of the classroom, getting them into the real industry, getting them to see how these technologies and all these exciting things can actually be done. But I feel that we do need to treat that global marketplace as well. But for schools, with the pressures of times and just the litigation and administration around taking a trip out, having local industries, local contact meets very close to the school, where that local industry is able to come into the school as much as we can go out to it in small groups as well, I think is a really important factor, and that's quite a challenge because I feel very fortunate. We're very near the Robin Hood Airport, so we've got the Vulcan there, we've got BAE Systems, so we're able to forge links which are beneficial to our students quite quickly. But you know, a national network somehow, you know, online would be the way to go, where actually, because Teen Tech's immediately linked our Teen Techers, as we call them, with some great industries. But if that type of concept could be expanded to give design faculties and design teachers instant links to local industry, sometimes with specific nominated people as well, because sometimes you get that industrial link, and yeah, you get through to the industry, but you might be bounced around the reception and bounced around, and we just don't have time. You might be making a quick 20-minute call before a class of 20 come in, as it were. So to have a resource that's updated annually, these are local industrial links, these are the people you can talk to, they'll come out into your school and they'll talk to you, you can get so rather than us talking about these wonderful things happening out there, the kids can actually see it or have representatives in school to talk. Yes, STEMnet's out there. When the STEM first came out, we were a bit of a pilot school with some of the STEM initiative, and there was some great funding around that. I think for me, where that fell down, it relied heavily on the intercollaboration within school of science, technology, engineering and maths. Now, daft as it may seem, as even in a school you think that would be easy to happen, but actually those are very different curriculum areas with very different curriculum times, with different curriculum pressures at different times. So to actually coordinate an approach of science, technology, engineering and maths was very difficult. I've been involved in two schools in my career, and the technology and science worked always very well together. That was good. Engineering came under the technology, so that would be brought in there. But it was difficult on both occasions, just from the experiences that I had linking in the maths there. And as such, it became in vogue. And to be honest, when the funding ran out, so did the passion for it. And the passion and those STEM groups that was really very much in vogue about 5 to 8 years ago have disbanded now as the funding sort of disappeared as well. And yeah, it's a shame because it was a great collaboration, but unfortunately I think what the mechanism or the catalyst for them coming together to collaborate was the extra funding that the departments and the school could get. And then once that funding started to sort of depreciate, so did the concept of STEM education within schools. Something we're trying to keep alive again through Teen Tech and finding these extra beneficiaries. The focus and the fact that most schools are placed in the league table. They're judged on and get into that league table through the results mainly of English, Maths and Science. And as such, English, Maths and Science have began in terms of time to dominate school curriculums. I'm talking on behalf of all secondary schools, and you can understand the leadership's position as well to choose to give the kids more curriculum time towards the subjects to get the better grades in there. That obviously will place the school in the league table. Now, there is the one side of the argument where it's English, Maths and Science being core, and that will therefore feed into every aspect of the education, be it design, technology, the humanities subject, and give them good English and math skills and get them the science skills as well. And then in that case, they'll do well in any other area. But as such, what's really happened is the technology department and the creative departments, where we're actually making things kinesthetically with our hands, because we feel a lot that actually a lot of these other subjects, science, maths, they teach the theory, but we teach the practical side. We're about, okay, but to do technology well, you need to know English, you need to know your maths, you need to know your science, you need to integrate that all together in a practical, kinesthetic, visual environment, and allow these students the time to explore these wonderful creative ideas that they have. But we just don't seem to have that time. Quite literally, in many secondary schools, English, Maths and Science will see the students for 3 times as much time as a technology department or another creative department might do. And as such, that does limit us and puts a stranglehold on our creativity, because we just don't have the time to explore all these fascinating things we could.